Good morning. Kind of walking on the trail here between Maidu Lake and Summit Lake, heading towards the Sisters area. One of the most cherished things on the trail is trail magic and trail angels. Trail magic is usually when you kind of get to a highway or some kind of a road or something like that. Someone's set up with an ice chest, has all kinds of goodies and sweets, the kinds of things you can't really take on the trail. Usually cold soda, something like that. And it's just a real, after eating, whatever people are eating, oatmeal, freeze-dried meals, granola bars, various power bars and things like that. It's nice to have real food every once in a while, and certainly nice to have a cold beer or a cold soda. And then the trail angels, who usually will pick people up and drop people off from the trail, bring them into town, help them resupply. It's a real service, You're out here, everything you have is on your back. You're mainly worried about where the next water source is. Are you going to have enough food to get, how to get to the next stop? Are you going to be able to get a ride somewhere to resupply if you can't resupply things? There's all kinds of things that sort of make you vulnerable out here, to be honest. And these people who are trail angels or who trail magic are very much cherished by people on the trail. And there's a lot of appreciation and gratitude for it. So kind of going back to this idea of service, and just thinking about trail magic and food. Michelle brought a big box of cherries, a flat of cherries, and they were gone pretty quick. People just don't get something like that. And the idea of food in the desert makes me think about, the feeding of the 5,000, that story that comes up again and again, how important service is, and how, especially, in the early church, when food was still very precarious, the idea of providing food for people was a huge part of what it meant to be a part of Christian ministry, and continues to be. Service, as I said, is directed towards those who are vulnerable, directed toward those without power, versus advocacy, which is something directed toward those with power to attempt to change the system. Service is helping people whose homes have been destroyed by forest fire, helping people whose homes have been flooded, helping people whose lives have been flooded with misfortune and find themselves with needing a helping hand. And in some ways, that's all of us at some time in our lives. We are all people who serve, and we are all people who are being served. We're all people who take care of others, and we're all people who are taken care of by others. And so the idea of service that connects us to one another is that layer of relationships that forms an important part of community, whether it's the conditions, material conditions of life, or the emotional conditions of life, the spiritual conditions of life. All of these needs, desires that well up within us that are a part of service and advocacy and community. So until I see you again, God be with you.